Hmm. I feel like you can hear my snaps more than usual. My hands kind of dry. I've been out of the glow, out of the Shalo glow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mm-mm-mm. Talking
I was
about
looking at
occupational wellness.
pictures this week because
Yeah.
I was doing a little ad for our volume 3 book, and I
Mm,
had a picture of you speaking at Agnes Scott University, and
mhm.
it said get ready to glow. And I
Yeah.
was like, we got to use that picture more. It's such a great pic of you.
Thank
How are
you.
you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm tired. I know I feel like we say that a lot, and we do a lot and we continue to do a lot. Um, but every day looking for the beauty and looking for what I'm grateful for,
Mm.
looking at the lessons. And I've really been still in last week's episode, and how Queen Sheba said God body energy, definitely like remembering like we have what we
Can
need.
I
You are
tell
divine.
you
Yeah.
that Women's World concert on
Mm,
Monday? Mm, the Floasis, y'all, all the way from the UK, flew to
yeah.
Atlanta,
And she
and
did.
Queen Sheba, and also we got to hear Teresa Songbird, who
Mm,
has this incredible affirmation poem called "I Am," which
mm,
I'll put in the show notes
yeah.
because I'm still savoring that. I
Yeah.
am like the power of poetry being National Poetry Month, the
Mhm.
power of artists and words and community. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Beautiful. How are you doing outside of that? I know you asked me.
Yeah, I'm I want to say I'm well, but this pollinating in Atlanta is being a little challenging for my system. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous today.
Yeah,
It is
it's beautiful.
stunning out there.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
it
my
is.
yard is stunning, and my little seedlings are coming up. So all that makes me very happy. And I think I read somewhere like we have had the highest amount of pollen ever,
Wow.
ever. Like not even just like for the last 5 ever.
Wow. I like records, but wow.
It's right. It's one of
Yeah.
those records I'm not sure that we like, but
Mm,
yeah, it is. That piece has been interesting to say the
yeah.
least. So just trying to drink more water, trying to
Right.
cleanse my system more, and
Mhm.
I woke up this morning about 5:30 coughing, and I know it was just pollen, and I
That
was
makes
like,
sense.
"Ooh, I need to move my air purifier from my office into my
Mm,
bedroom right
mm.
now." So
Good
I
thing.
know, right?
And I was about to ask you, like, what do you do? So I hear you with the air purifier, the water, flushing your system. What else do
Right?
you do for your allergies? We can do our
Well, I like
introduction.
to, yeah, well, I know we gotta do our official intro, but I like
Mm,
using the neti pot. Like, you know
okay.
how when you can just feel you're stocked up? I use my
Yeah.
neti pot. I
Okay.
take allergy medicine. Like, there's
Mhm,
some years I don't have to, and I go all
mhm,
natural. This year is
mhm.
not one of them.
Mm,
Because I'm not able to function. Like, if I'm sneezing
yeah.
constantly, like,
Right.
I so I'm currently taking some over the counter stuff
Yeah.
that my doctor recommended, but,
Especially as a speaker, I can only imagine,
right?
like,
If
you
you know
know?
what to do.
Mm, no,
Like
thank you.
everything, like, yeah, no.
Phew.
Right? And boy, I know it. If I step outside before I take that meds, I know it.
Hmm,
It's like, yeah.
that
So,
makes sense.
how about we do our official introduction and kick off episode 191?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey y'all, I'm Shannon Mitchell, a Black millennial entrepreneur, an Amazon bestselling author, publisher, and all natural product manufacturer. I'm a champion for your natural self care, sustainable business care, and overall intentional wellness.
Hey, y'all, I'm Christine Gautreaux, a white social justice advocate, an international speaker, coach, best-selling author and publisher, and dancing social worker who helps you upgrade your self and community care.
Yes, together we are a podcast rooted in the 8 dimensions of wellness and the co founders of Women Connected in Wisdom Community.
And we like to get together every week with special guests for intentional conversations about how to be wise in business, relationships, and wellness.
Mhm.
How do we do
My
it?
goodness. I'm so excited to have this conversation talking about uncovering your hidden gems, right? Because
Right?
it's really been sticking out to me in the last few weeks differences, like, oh yeah, when, Stephen Covey talks about celebrating the differences in different people. I feel like sometimes when we work, we miss that, like instead of thinking that this difference or the part that you don't agree with or whatever somebody else's opinion is, the fact that it's not yours is a bad thing. It's not always the case. A lot of times if you use it in a healthy way, it could be definitely to the benefit of everybody involved.
Well, we're talking about occupational wellness today,
Yeah.
when we celebrate each other's superpowers and their
Hmm.
hidden gems,
Yeah.
it, like I have somebody on my team with one of the
Hmm.
contracts I do
Hmm.
that is incredible detail orientated, like
Hmm.
just microscopic. Not
Okay.
my jam, not
Hmm.
who I am, not who I
Hmm.
want to be. And
Hmm.
I honor her skills because,
Hmm.
man, if I'm gonna have somebody proofread something for me, I know who I'm going to. Because
Right.
if I have one tiny error, she gonna catch it.
Hmm.
And I just like, I think that's a piece too in collaboration is knowing each other's strengths and superpowers
Yeah.
and their joys. Because I found if we celebrate each other's joys and superpowers, like
Mm.
we just have fun. Like, what
Yeah.
do we like to do? Like,
Mm.
we were talking about this last week, I think, because I like creating the multidimensional ads. It's part of being a mixed media artist. Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, let me do that. Like,
That makes
oh,
sense.
right? Because I get
Yeah,
to put the music and the text and it's creative for me. Like if it's a creative project, let me do it. If
that
it's the
makes sense.
taxes, I know y'all. Everybody shout out in the U.S. We got a tax deadline coming up next week. We're sending
Yes.
you love.
Yes, yes, yes. I saw this post, this email earlier. It was talking about making the for Mike McCallowitz. I follow the Profit First and
Mhm,
everything. Get the
mhm.
newsletters, get the emails, and he was talking about making your tax day a victory lap. And I think,
Ooh.
yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. This is
Yeah,
my
let's victory lap.
perspective. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like it.
So that's what we're working on, keeping up the marathon and counting it as a victory when they're completed.
I hear you.
Mm.
And I'm just going to register an official complaint,
Okay.
especially for those of us that live in the South. It
Hmm.
is gorgeous outside right now. Like, I want to be outside.
Hmm.
Like, I want to be, I want to be, yeah. So, this
And
Mid April spring deadline, like, couldn't
hmm,
we put it in the middle of the winter when we don't want to be outside? Or, I know,
hey, and you know how I am about deadlines. So
right?
I would like to let's that while we have the complaint box out, let's file a complaint on the order of the deadlines because these seasons will have you back to back to back, y'all, right?
Right.
So with Christine saying that, y'all, we talk about taxes. We talk about taxes every year on the podcast, right? Bring it up in different ways. But this year, I'm gonna go ahead and extend it. I thought it was gonna be this week, and I
Fair.
felt the
You could
pressure. And
move
you
it
know
to
what?
October.
Push it, and I'm still gonna
Right.
be.
Okay.
Go ahead and push it. Go ahead and push it, right? And
We
not
have
only
some
that,
control. I
we
like
have
it.
control and the autonomy to make that decision, right? And
Right.
also have the autonomy to next year try to be done before now. And you know that that's
Right.
always my goal, right? But
And
be
we have
done before the beautiful weeks in April
Are
so that
you telling me I have
I could
control
be
over
outside.
that too?
And you can do it, Christine. I believe in you. And this year you were on time, baby. So we're going to
I
tell our
know,
international and our our domestic listeners that you're on it.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. And I'd rather be gardening.
I
So
know.
that's just the
Yeah.
truth.
Rather be outside playing
How
pickleball, and I
about I
never thought I
give
would
the
say that.
right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, we still got to go play. I
Yeah, we
can't
do.
wait.
Yeah.
How about I give our listeners our definition that we're rolling from today before we
Yeah.
pull our guest up here?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Occupational wellness represents living in the purpose, passion, and productivity in one's chosen profession. This includes work life balance. We always put that in quotes.
Right.
As a fulfilling and productive professional life is fitting to weave together with a healthy personal life.
Mhm. Mhm. Are you okay if I go ahead and read our guest bio?
Yes, and then I'm just gonna say this
You
one
gotta
thing because
know. Yes,
I just
please.
had a note reading that, like for
Mhm.
especially what's currently going on in our country,
Yeah.
and so many people losing their jobs,
Mm.
and and women especially like
Mm.
being um yeah, I don't know, it hit me differently when I read it today. It hit
What
me
came up?
differently.
What came up for
Um,
you for what
it
we said specifically?
Well, I was just thinking about the fitting to weave together a healthy, a fulfilling and productive professional life is fitting to weave together with a healthy personal life, and just not taking that for granted. Like
Yeah,
not like the my gratitude of the life I've had that I've been able to do that. And I know a lot of people are hurting right now, and a lot of people are in transition right now, which I know that our guest has some good wisdom around that. But
it's gonna be good.
yeah, all right, go
And
for it. Reader
and
bio and
yeah, and I have a note on the note is the purpose, as a crocheter, like when I think about with what you said, with weaving together now, okay, somebody yanked the thread, right? Somebody pulled
Mhm,
it and you weren't
mhm,
expecting them to pull it, you thought they might, and now what you have to weave together looks different, right? And
right,
different have gone through that in different times in the generations together, right? But what I lean on and what centers me in those moments is the purpose, right? Even
mhm,
though that thread is gone or is different or moved or wherever it is, you still have your purpose, right? That doesn't change the value of you as a human being. And I know that income can shift the way that
mhm,
we feel about those things, but that is not shifted. And I hope that you ladies and you guys are able to stick to that passion and able to find new ways to be productive in this season, even if it is weaving together time for yourself and time for your family because you're at home during this
mhm,
beautiful week. So I hope we can give them some actionable steps to take away and
mhm.
maintain their wellness through whatever is going on and on the table at this time. Okay,
Absolutely.
y'all. So our expert guest is amazing for this conversation. And today, y'all, we are talking to Sairan Aqrawi. Her unique blend of technical experience, leadership development, and entrepreneurial guidance makes her an ideal guest for conversations focused on real and raw discussions about entrepreneurship and leadership. She brings valuable insights and practical advice that will resonate with listeners and inspire them to take actionable steps towards their goal. Help us welcome her to the stage, y'all. Hi, Saran.
Hi,
Sadon, excuse me.
Welcome,
thank
welcome.
you, Shannon. Thank you, Christine. I'm very delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think it's so timely, so timely with how many job losses are happening. And so, how many people are in transition and what's going on in our nation right now. And what you do in the world, I think, is important.
So
Well,
I would love for you to, and excuse me, if you were already going to say something, let me let you speak first, and then I'll ask my question next.
no, I agree with the message of what Christine said. This is a unique time, and we have to go through this all together.
Yes, yes, and I love how you do a lot, right? But you talk about being a transformational team lead. When you think about leading teams, being in engineering, with your experience and where we are right now, what comes to mind when you think about occupational wellness?
You define it on the introduction very well. I mean, when you have occupational or you define it as occupational wellness, it's not just having a job that bring you money and
Right,
resources.
right.
It's the purpose, is the impact. Are you really adding a value? It's what are you doing in your daily job, adding something, leaving an impact, or making any small change. Because with your small change, with Christine's small change, with my change, all together will be the coexisting society and community, and we all thrive together. So it's so many component into it, and unfortunately, a lot of you see it in LinkedIn. A lot of employee right now, they think they are not in the right job because they are missing a certification or they are missing a degree from the college, and that's what we believed before. World is changing now. It has nothing to do with your degree. It has nothing to do with your credential or how many abbreviation you have beside your name and how fancy your LinkedIn is. Are you leaving an impact? Are you making any changes? If you are, that's when you are very vital to the community.
Mm. I always think about that too. Is I was reading, and oh, I'm not going to be able to quote it because I can't remember where I read it, but it was about, when you say that about it doesn't matter about your degree, what this was talking about was art based degrees, because employers are looking for creativity and that making an impact. Like when you think about problem solving and creativity and being able to pivot, I think those are skills that are highly valued right now. And
Yes, yes, and when you use the job as only, like I said, a paycheck, you're just going to be stagnant. You're going to stay there. You have to be very creative and able to innovate. When you stop innovating, then you will never grow, because the world is changing so fast now, and they are looking for those who are making positive changes, innovating to better, not necessarily only in technology. You'll see a lot of leader women who left their corporate job and they become a speaker, they become coaches, they become consultant, because they realize their corporate job was just bring them money. There is no sense of belonging. They don't feel they are doing something had value. And I hear that from most of my, I would say 90% of the tech women. When they ask me to coach them, I ask them the same question. You have a great job, you have a good family, you don't have any financial problem. Why you want to hire me? They said, we are lack of joy. We don't feel we are doing something had value. We make money, we go vacation, we take pictures with the family, but at the end of the day, we are just like any other number. We are not doing something that leaving impact to other people. There is no sense of belonging. So that's when I come as a coach and a consultant and I ask them, have you thought about any hidden talent you have? Do you think you have something like a gem inside you? You put it in mute or sleep or buried inside that you have it when you're 20 or teenage, and life just took you through the routines and raising kids and paying the bills and you forgot about it. And that's how our conversation starts, by digging deep what's really inside them, what's those hidden gem can come to the surface, share it with the universe and adding value.
I love that. And there's been times when I remember when I stepped down from being a kitchen manager, right? And I stepped down because my mom was sick, wanted to spend more time with her. And I remembered all these things that I wanted that I had forgotten about. And I tried to not do that again. And I feel like it happened again, but not as severely because I was focused on what I wanted, purpose, and was doing projects that did that, different things like that, right? What would you say to that? Like, how do you is it possible to hold on to the hidden gems, or is it like the number of things to be grateful for and there's entirely too many to always be consciously present of all of them consistently?
Things happen, lives happen, responsibility happen. You have aging parents, you have kids, you pivot your job, the economy change, you have to move to another state. We all go through that, right? But the idea is, when I say midlife, you don't want to wait so long after you're 50 in order to bring those genes to the surface, because you only have one midlife. You don't have a couple of midlife, right?
Right.
I mean, for someone who started a family and wanted to have a couple of kids, I don't think that woman will wait until she's 55 to have her first child,
Right.
right? So they
Right.
have the kids in the beginning, you get busy with them, you chaperone, you take them to soccer games, you pay the bills, you help your husband to build that family. But when the midlife happen, you need to claim it for yourself. You need to say, this is my time. I took care of everyone. I took care of my aging parent. I took care of my friends and sibling, brother and sister. I'm 50 now. Now what? That's it? Empty nester? What is those label we use on ourselves? Midlife crisis. Where does that come from?
Right.
We should not use negative connotation. I was invited to a podcast called Midlife Crisis, and
Mm,
two ladies were so lovely. I said, Well, I love both of you. You are so sweet, but I want to call it midlife priceless. It's
Mm,
a woman with a trophy. Why you call it crisis? You already claim you are failing in your midlife. Nobody even say that to any book. We are guilty, Shannon, for going short in many things in our life because we give it the wrong label.
mhm.
We already claim that we are not able because we have wrinkles, we are
Right.
over 50, we have menopause. We already give that introduction to the world while the world opening the arm for us. So pivot is okay. When you stop and change to take care of your mom, that's
Right.
noble. That
Mhm.
everybody will do that. That's a priority. That's something you are proud that you've done it. But you don't have to stay stagnant where you are and park where you are forever.
Mhm.
Because life has so many things waiting for you.
Yes.
Oh, I so agree with this. I knew you were coming today, so I looked up a few things because there's a couple of women that I always think about when I think about they've started things older in life, or like I think about Juliet Gordon Lowe, who started the Girl Scouts. She was in her 50s when she started a worldwide movement. And I was looking up because I was just asked, I like to do searches and find things. And it brought up a woman, I didn't even know her name, Barbara Hillary. She became one of the oldest people and the first Black woman to reach both the North and South Poles at 75 and 79, respectively. Like, what?
Wow.
Yes, there is so many example. If you look at the social media, you will see women in their late 60 and 70.
Mhm.
They get to lifting weight. And when you ask the lady, have you done this for the past? She said, no, I started when I was 50.
Mhm.
My mom died from heart attack. I don't want to
Mhm.
follow her steps. So I
Mhm.
end up going to the gym, eating healthy. And you look at her, she's 75. She looks fairy. Her body is so toned and she looks so healthy. Not just the body, I feel like even mentally, you get
Mhm.
to a place that you will not respond to things the same way when you are unhealthy.
Mhm.
And going back, speaking about Stoic, and I'm loving Stoicism now, it's make you so relentless in a way you respond to things more calm. And again, that's come with age. I was not like this when I was in my 20. I'm
Right.
more, collected and calm and kind of like, okay, let me take a pause and see how I can respond to this action.
Beautiful. And Christine, you were talking about research and looking stuff up. I was looking at your stuff, Sairan, and Stoicism. I saw your post recently, right? Saw the recent places you've been speaking and saw you talking about Stoicism. I said, what is that? So, y'all, Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes ethical self improvement and living a life worth living. It teaches the development of self control and fortitude to overcome destructive emotions, promoting clear and unbiased thinking to understand universal reasons, also called logos, right? If you want to go into the psychology and stuff of it. Stoicism flourished in Greek and Roman history and is considered one of the most significant philosophies in Western civilization. So I think about a couple of things with that. I think about the universal needs, right? We talk about that instead of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is more encompassing. Think about
Yes.
the 8 dimensions of wellness. What do you think about?
I will simplify it for the sake of the audience, not to complicate it in a philosophy or psychology, because I'm not expert. I know emotional intelligence, but I'm 90% a technology person.
Yes.
To simplify it in the Stoic sense, is the way how to respond to event that's happened in your life. And
Mm,
very simple example. Let's say I was planning to go out with my friend and eat outside because the weather is nice. And
mhm.
we plan to sit outside. I haven't seen my friend. And all by sudden in Washington, D.C., it's a crazy weather. It start pouring rain, right?
Wow.
It's up to me to make that event raining, pouring heavy, to make it like a bad luck. Oh my God, I'm not lucky. I was planning to see my friend and we sit outside. And now what? We have to go inside, be stuck inside the restaurant. It's the way how you respond to something that you have no control of. Raining, I have no control of. What I have control of is to still make it a good event gathering with my friend, have
Right.
that quality time with her. It's raining. Am I able to change anything? I can only take the umbrella and go and see her. It's okay. We're going to sit inside and we make up another time to go in and sit outside when the weather allows. So the things that in your control, you can always be in a place, know how to handle the response to it. But environmental, interest rate, uh,
Hmm.
job, losing your job,
Hmm.
politics, all the stuff that's around us, I don't think we have much control on it, but we
Right.
have control how to respond to it.
Hmm.
And that's the
And
beauty about stoic.
I love it. And it makes sense. And what you said that I heard, right, that's very important is the umbrella. That's different. I've been doing this little research study, and most people do not have umbrellas, right? So you had a tool
Yeah,
that made you more comfortable in this example, right? To be able to go to that situation that you had planned and talked about, collaborated, and then make it a beautiful event too. And I think that helps me, right, also maintain a certain type of response in certain things. And you can do that across the dimensions of wellness, right? Having those things that help bridge the gap between interest rates or income from a different place and different situations that can be on the table.
definitely.
But I wanted to ask you a question here because we're talking about occupational wellness, right? Uncovering your hidden gems. And you talked about helping your clients get there and remember who they are and who they were and who they want to be. Before the show, we were talking about using women's voices in a strong way. Right? It's one thing to remember within yourself what you want. It's a completely different thing to say to your husband, to your community, to your friends, this is what I'm doing and everything that we have to communicate when that happens. Can you speak to strong women voices and how you help your clients with that?
Yes, of course. I always remember a line that Les Brown say, when you open your mouth and speak, you are telling the whole world who you are.
Mhm.
Our words are so powerful. What's come out of our mouth either is gonna take someone up high or we belittle someone and make them
Mhm.
feel bad. And that's go to responsibility of the leaders and parents, how they can bring a strong team or how they raise good kids by
Mhm.
being a role model. Being a woman and being a mom, it's kind of the same. At work, yes, I have a different mask, and I call it mask because, unfortunately, for certain jobs, you
Right.
have to wear a personality that suit the principle of the job.
Mm.
So sweet with my close friend. I'm so sweet with my daughter. We are friends. We go shopping together. But I cannot be the same personality when I show up in a room full of 40 uh, seasoned engineer who've been in the engineering field for 30 years.
Mhm.
I have to know my stuff so well. I have to have the fact together. I have to know about the manual, the books, the strategy, the map, the date, why this has happened, why certain number it doesn't add up, because it's all about IQ and engineering. So my voice will be um, taken seriously when I'm really done with my homework. I cannot go to that room and being loud and saying, "Oh, did you see my LinkedIn? I have master degree, so you have to
Mhm.
listen to me." Nobody care. I have a
Mm-mm.
master degree. It has nothing to do with the subject. But if
Right.
I go to that room, being prepared for what's out there, what is the issue? How can I solve being an asset in solving that issue as a smart engineer problem solver with fact, data, not an assumption, not referring to I've been an engineer for 30 years. Nobody care about your experience. If you are not well prepared with homework and fact, your voice will not be heard.
Mhm.
So you'll be powerful by being competent, and that's how your confidence will come. I cannot be in a room full of engineers who know their stuff so well, and I just fake the confidence because I read books and I listened to Tony Robinson video talking about confidence. That's not
Right. Mhm.
to be competent. I have to know if they challenge me. If three of them challenged me on the design, they said why you chose this gap between the column 12 inches, not
Mhm.
12.5. I have
Mhm.
to have a good answer. I cannot say because I said so or because my experience say that. No,
Right.
I have to really be ready saying because of the study, because of the manual, chapter such and such, saying this is the design we have to go through. So to answer your question, you will have a strong voice when you are prepared for the world. You can't just show up like this randomly and expecting people clapping for you. You have to be competent. You have to have set of skills and mastery, like Robert Greene talked about it in his book. You have
Hmm.
to be master when you're doing, so you can be a role model for others.
Hmm.
Sairan, when you help your clients uncover their hidden gems, how do you start that process?
Yes, so the 30 minutes complimentary. Normally, because I've been doing it for a while now, I'm not saying I'm genius knowing who is coachable or who's not, but you could tell after 30 minutes if that client are showing up just to vent. And many of them, they just need someone to hear them. They are upset at home, they are upset at work, they don't like their bosses, they come and just vent, just complain, whining, complain. And when I remind them after 15 minutes, I said, what is the goal? What are you trying to achieve in 28 days with me? If I feel that client keep not knowing what they want, she want or he want, that's not a perfect fit for me. I'm not going to be a good coach because I am not someone that you need to hire to have a coffee chat and just listen. We are not close friends. You are a mentee, I'm a mentor, or you are a client and I'm a coach. My responsibility, I have to take you from A to B. I'm not here to listen why your boss is not treating everyone fairly. That's not my job. My job is to ask you, are you clear what you want to head? Do you want a promotion? Do you want to start your master? Do you want to gain more leadership skills? Do you want to gain more confidence? When the client is clear where they go, then I can be the guide. But without clarity, it's just chatting, and that doesn't serve the client.
I love that because it also sounds like that's part of uncovering the hidden gems is getting that clarity
Yes,
about what do you really want?
yes.
What do you want to change?
Yes, exactly. And the clarity, Christine, is the foundation. This is why I use the engineering metaphor in my coaching, and they really like it because it's very simple. I said their clarity is the foundation of the building. If the foundation is not strong, the building will collapse. So without clarity, I cannot even build anything on the top of the foundation. Then on the top of the foundation, action come. That's your door and wall and windows. And the roof is the consistency. You have to keep doing what you have started. So it's like a building foundation, building, roof. It's clarity, action, and consistency.
I love that. And I know that to be true.
Yes.
Yes, me too. Me too. So outside of being clear, and I hear you on the responsibilities, roles, life has happened, right? What are other challenges that you're finding your clients face when trying to uncover their hidden gems?
The start, Shannon, is always muddy. When you start, you are all over the place. You want to have your master, you want to have your kids having a grade, you want to have a perfect house, you want to go vacation. It's you want everything. You are all over the place. When you are here with me as a client and you want to discover your hidden talent, you want to be really clear if you want to pivot totally, like leaving your day job 9 to 5, or just having like a side business. Because that's exactly what I'm doing. I have not left engineering yet because I
Mhm.
love engineering. I find it very, I see a lot of talent on it. So I'm not ready to leave that field yet.
Right.
And when my client come, I said, "Are you ready to leave your job?" They said, "No, this is a side thing." Great,
Mhm.
but there will be a lot of pushback. Why?
Mhm.
Because when you are comfortable, let's say you are an IT chief, having a good job, making a lot of money,
Right.
when you are painting very nice, You push back that talent because you are comfortable at your day job. You go 9 to 5, you come back, you pay your bills. You don't want that entrepreneurship struggle. How people will receive me. Am I able to start from scratch? Will people take me seriously? They look at I'm an IT, why I'm painting now. All that validation and judgment that we seek from others. And that's what I tell my client. You want to do this celebrating hidden gem for yourself or for others? They said for ourselves. I said, don't worry about what other people think. I'm an engineer. I am consulting about business strategy. Has nothing to do with engineering. All my life I was designing and dealing with numbers. Now I'm dealing with emotional intelligence. But I love it. Why I should care what someone in my previous job thinking when they see my article in LinkedIn or Instagram. I'm not here to satisfy that person. I'm here to leave an impact and make a change.
Oh,
And
say that again.
yeah,
Say that again.
when you celebrate your hidden gem, you're doing it for yourself to leave an impact and adding a value, not to satisfy someone that you knew before. That's not your role. That's not your goal. You should not worry about that. And that's come with aging. Because when you are younger, you seek that validation. You want to be
Mhm.
everybody's friend. You want everybody to say, Christine is a nice lady. Okay. But when you hit that 50, who cares?
Right?
Right?
There is very much truth with that. Like you hit 50 and it's like, all right, just like you said earlier, like I've done this for this person, I've done this to this person. And I think a lot of times, at least in our generation, we wake up and we're like, okay, yep, it's time for me to do it for myself. It's time for me to do what I love, what I want to do. And I would just add on to what you were saying, not just what old jobs or old colleagues think, but our families think
That
too.
must go.
I
That's
think that, a lot I have worked with a lot of people that hold themselves back and hide their gems because of old family wounds or you know, it's something creative in art and they weren't allowed to consider that as a career. They weren't allowed to consider that as worthy of pursuing.
yes,
And
totally, totally. Like syndrome. You might have a syndrome from childhood thinking that, oh, when I was in my teenage and I was doing those painting, people make fun of the art. You have that syndrome when you were 15. Well, you are 50 now. Why are you carrying that syndrome all those years as a heavy backpack on you? That's so heavy and exhausting. You're losing that energy. And plus, when you are in your 20, I mean, I have my kids late. I had my son when I was 30 and my daughter 32. You've done so much for your sibling, parents, friends, kids, husband. When you get to that age, you need to value yourself in a place saying, okay, I don't feel guilty. I done my duties with all those people. Now is my time. And you should not justify it. You should not apologize. I post something in Instagram that you have to stop apologizing for things that is natural to you. Don't be sorry. Oh, I can come and see you for dinner. No, you just don't feel well. You just want to lay down beside the fireplace and have a cup of green tea. Why I'm apologizing too much? Why I am justifying too much? When we are younger, again, we done it, and it was so exhausting, make you so tired. Oh, let me justify to my friend why I'm not going to movie with her. When you hit 50, don't waste that energy energy innovating an idea, writing a book, writing a blog, making someone's add a value to someone, help someone, consult someone. And instead of you keep justifying, oh, I haven't done that because of that. The more you justify, the more you proving you are wrong. So just don't justify.
And I do think that the generations coming behind us don't wait. Like I have seen, like Shannon, like Shannon's like, yeah, I'm not waiting until I'm 50. We're doing this now. Started in her 20s, like, which
Right.
I love.
Yeah. Yep. And, both of my parents having cancer will do that. You don't know how many days you have, for anything.
Yeah.
And so grateful for that will of fire. And I love this word that you keep using, the impact. That's what I think about is, okay, if it's my last year, if it's my last day, and not always thinking about it from that way, but just remembering that time is temporary, right? Not from a negative way, like you said, but remembering If you have the opportunity and the chance to do it now. If you ladies say it happened in your 50s, absolutely. It's 30
Yes,
for me. I'm saving 20 years. We're gonna go ahead and put it in the toolbox.
yes, yes. And I will add one thing since always happened to all of us, and
Yes.
you will see it in your career, in your personal life.
Hmm.
When I talk about impact, we question our messages and we question our contribution to the world in a way. Sometimes we doubt ourselves and said, let's call it a day. I'm not going to do this, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to quit writing that book. I'm going to
Yeah.
quit doing that podcast. I'm going to
Mhm.
quit being in that panel. I'm going to quit helping other women. And the universe is so amazing. When you decide to do that pause or just stop, I'm not going to do that, the universe will send you a sign telling you, Shannon, Kristen, don't stop that podcast. And I'll tell you an example. Let's say, for God forbid, you both decided to stop this.
Mhm.
And you said, it's too much on me. I have a job, I have life responsibility. And when you start discussing with each other's, one of you will receive an email or an Instagram text or a message from someone saying, "Hey, ladies, I just want to say hi. It's a holiday time. I just want to remember both of you. You make a big impact on my life." And the impact was I was in the bottom of my life last year when I had the session with you. You
Mhm.
both really encouraging me. I really enjoy the conversation. I joined that association with women leadership, and now I'm in a better place, so I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. And you'd be like, what? Why this message came on the same days that I decided to quit? Well, that's mean the world is not through with you yet. You still
Mhm.
have a lot to do. And that text came exactly on that day which you doubt your ability and your contribution. The universe telling you, nope, you help that lady. Imagine how many more other ladies you can leave an impact and change their life. So the universe is great, sending us signals.
Right, and being making sure we're paying attention,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Making sure we are paying attention to those affirmations that come in. I know Shannon and I have had that experience, not that we were
Literally.
pausing, but we have had that experience
yes,
at times that we may have been tired, or we may
Yeah.
have been low, or we may have been like, is this all worth it?
yes,
And they come in and just given gratitude and
Mm.
yes. Yes, appreciating it. It's happened to me many times when I'm like, I have a day job. What is this coaching thing? I'm tired. My God, I'm exhausted. And all of a sudden, I open my Gmail and or my Instagram, and someone texts me out of blue. I forgot the last name. I was
Mhm,
like, who's this person? Oh, you remember when you were in Women in Technology and you were giving 1 hour away complimentary? I was one of those ladies. I was a younger engineer. Now I moved. I was like, I don't even
Mm.
remember her. Who is
Mm.
she?
mhm,
And when I see like she's talking about 5 years ago when I
Mm.
was mentor at Women in Technology, I even forgot who she
Right.
was. But she's like,
Wow.
please continue. You changed my life. Please continue what you're doing.
Great
That's
job.
that's these are the reason that keep pushing us forward, and we should not listen to the distraction and the noise, the news and people hating each others, and there is this divide. Don't listen to that. Listen to those good messages that's coming to your way, how much change you made, and continue doing those positive stuff. Don't listen to the
Mhm.
distraction. There's noise.
And I love how you say that. That's really what I've been leaning into with my different teams. It'll be, okay, this person in this relationship might be difficult or a little strained, right? Still have to work on it. Still need to be cordial and bring it to an amicable place so we can work together for the goal of the system that we're in, right? But outside of that, pour into the people who were asking questions, pour into the people that need help but might not be coming directly to you and are out on the fringes. And so staying empowered and centered and then being intentional about where I've poured how you're talking about has really been helpful.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yes. So I like how and we talked about how LinkedIn does not matter, right? But it is one of the places I went before our show. And I love all the information that you share with everybody. One of my questions is, which level does somebody have to get at before you consider them a communication specialist?
like what is make me uh, comfortable, feeling
No, like what's the
communicator.
what's the difference between a good communicator, somebody who is a proficient communicator, right? Like they're excellent, and then a specialist. What the difference of the levels?
Yeah, I think who was that? Warren Buffett
Mhm,
talked about it in one of the interview. He said the only thing that he regret that he didn't get to it earlier. It's
mhm,
the great communication skills,
mm,
and that's very important. Your LinkedIn can have 10 PhD degree. You can have all the master degree in the world. If you are not an effective communicator, uh, that's mean you are not
right,
succeeding anywhere. And the
right,
communicator is not the ability to talk fluently or having skills or background. I
right.
think it's mostly about it's the effective listening. If as a leader, you see some leaders, they call them they are perfect communicator. And it's funny, you see those people who they call effective communicator, they are the less people who talk in meeting.
I
They
hear you.
don't talk that much. They
Mhm,
might say few words, but their words, it's impact, it's
mhm,
action, it's bold. And yet people say, oh, they are a perfect communicator. But for the first time, you think communicator, oh, they speak very well. No, they listen very well. They read between the lines. They know what their team needs. They meet their team individually. They don't make assumption and be the boss and saying, I'm the director, it's my way or the highway. No, they listen to every single person in their team. So they are
mhm,
a great communicator because they are listening. They give value to everyone in the team. So to separate a good communicator from excellent communicator, I think it's come by practicing more and more, not just by reading book and listening to YouTube and being part of the event. It's you knowing your value, what you excel at, and use it. Some people are shy, they don't want to talk. They are a good researcher. Great, let them research. Some people they are good in writing book. Great, nothing wrong with that. Just write your books, enjoy writing your blogs and books. So communication, we don't value it enough because now with the AI, I'm happy that people start seeing that the ability to communicate with different level, it's very important, has nothing to do with your degree. Meaning, if I'm a smart engineer, I should not call myself a smart engineer if my message only clear to engineers.
mhm,
That's then I'm not a good communicator. My message has to be clear even to high school graduate because people say, "Oh, that makes sense," and they are not engineer. It should be clear to someone in the medical field. It should be clear to someone who's in finance field, right? But if
mhm,
you go to the room and you think you are a great communicator, I'm going to speak just like any smart engineer. Well, your audience are not engineers. Why are you assuming everyone went to the same school and classes like you? But if you
mhm.
are a great communicator, your message will be so clear and profound. Anyone in different level will resonate with you and they will take your message.
Mm, I love that.
Yes. Yes. So every week we do something called a wisdom in action, and it's what we're doing for ourselves personally, right? We help our clients, we help the people in our businesses, we help the teams we're on. But for yourself and occupational wellness, what are you doing this week, Sairan, for your occupation? Oh, I said that already. For your occupational wellness.
I already started on
Yeah.
Monday. Um, I've been doing this lately, but I started Monday. For this week,
Mhm,
I eliminate the stuff that is redundancy. It's redundancies, like it's keep repeating without adding value to me or to
mhm.
others.
Yes.
So I start doing what Jeff Bezos talked about. It. He said, if you can master three things in a day, it's a great day. I try to focus on three main core value every day. Only three. You don't have to have a waiting list or to-do list for 10 or 15 things. We are not Wonder Woman here. We call ourselves Wonder Woman, but in reality, we have a certain level of energy. We need to have a good sleep. We
Mhm.
need to have good, nutrition and rest, right? And
Yes.
on the top of all of that, I'm really focusing on the mental health.
Mhm.
Am I really centered? If I keep doing, running the race, do this, do that, check box, and the end of the day, I feel like my soul is dead.
Mhm.
I haven't done anything good because my soul died. What
Mhm.
I mean by soul died, because I might have tons of achievement done, but I'm not joy. There is no joy. I'm not joyful. The soul is like telling me signs like, what are you doing? You're doing so much. Do what is matter. So I've been doing this for this week and I'm continuing doing it. I'll do less, because when you do less, you do 100%. If you do seven things, you do 20% here, 30% here. Again, I'm using numbers because numbers in my life and everything.
Mhm.
But I'm with you on the podcast. I'm 100% with you. I'm not
Right.
talking to you, checking my phone and seeing what's in my email. That's no mastery. And that's what is caused. I think there was a research, I read it somewhere. They said the
Mhm.
people who dementia, it's the multitasking.
Mm. You talking about digital dementia?
It's like people who start saying, "Oh my God, I forgot." Like I start
Mhm.
forgetting things. Well, because you're doing so much.
Yes.
You're confusing the brain. I'm doing a
Mhm.
podcast, but I'm looking at my daughter text. That's not right.
Mhm.
That's not even professional or ethical to my business. I'm
Mhm.
having a conversation with Shannon and Christine. That's it. That's 1 hour is for them. That's a
Right.
100% commitment. I'm focusing in one thing. So the brain is not confused because the whole brain is present with both of you. And when
Mhm.
I'm done with you, I can go downstairs, clean the kitchen and for my daughter. I'm
Right.
done. But when I'm with you, I'm 100% with you.
Mm,
I
thank
love that.
you.
Yes,
Shannon,
and let
what
me know what
about
you
you? What's your wisdom in action this week?
I have 2. I have hashtag leaving impact and a hashtag adding value.
Mm,
So I want to be really intentional. What did I get done this week? How do we move
mm,
the needle on these numbers we said we're looking at? That's the adding value. And then leaving impact. Um, I definitely think back to our reviews and the things our listeners and readers have said about the book and about the podcast. And they definitely help keep us going when we're
mhm,
tired and when
mhm,
things are going on, because we're, what, at 4.5 years coming up. So the
mhm,
work that I want to do, I definitely want to leave impact. That's most important. And I love that you've been using that word throughout the podcast. And adding value is something I've been thinking about more intentionally because I think I do it naturally as a person. I know that I do that. But in business, like you said, you want to show up prepared with the numbers that's relevant for the room. What are the numbers that are relevant? And how are we showing up in those places and those timelines? So
Yes, yes.
that's me.
Yes, and for the success, for the sake of your podcast and seeing, you
Mhm.
are not comparing yourself with Joe Rogan or somebody else, right? You're comparing
No,
yourself with your version 5 years ago, 2 years ago, or
right.
today's 190, 191 or 195,
191.
191. So episode 191, to call it a success,
Mhm.
will not look like episode 11 or 17 or 22. So that's
Right.
success. And when they ask me to define success, I always say it's the relentless energy to keep progressing. Meaning, when
Mm,
you think the episode of today, you see the chemistry between you and Christine.
mhm,
It's way higher when you did the episode 11 because
mhm,
now you know each other's better. You
mhm.
guys
mm,
align the message in alignment, right? So that's a
mm,
success. Same thing with me. I remember my first podcast.
Mm,
I I don't know what I was talking. I was like all over the place. I was like,
mm. It's okay.
right? And but now I'm not saying I am Oprah, but I'm
Right.
a better version of myself. When I
Mhm.
compare this conversation with both of you, much better from the first podcast, which I did 5, 6 years ago.
I understand.
mhm,
So when you
mm.
see that transition and that transformation, you have to celebrate that and say, "Oh, I'm succeeding because I'm a better version."
Mhm.
Mm,
Thank you for
thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Christine, what about
I
you? What are
think
you working on?
mine, from our conversation, but also just some
Yeah.
things I have going on,
Yeah.
or are to hashtag listen and
Mhm.
hashtag keep going.
Yes.
Like just building on things we are already have in progress and things we're working on, and just keep going.
I love
I
it.
think is part of it.
And y'all, for me, that has been, it's been a, not a reaffirmation, let's say like a recommitment to the non-negotiables, right? Okay, we're on this level now and we're good. We're about to restart some things. Christine is back in the flow of things. We've been talking about that. If you guys have been listening to the podcast, right? Sino's about to come back from paternity leave. But as we get into this next season, is, oh, don't forget to keep your non-negotiables. Make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're outside before you just go to get to the car, like you're spending your outside time, you know. So um, I love what you're talking about the mental health, Seiran. And
Yes,
I
yes,
hear you talking about like the listening and keep going,
yeah.
Christine.
And you just
Mhm.
said about the basic, the water and exposed to the sun, and before you go to
Mhm.
the car. Sometimes we do lose the basics.
Mhm.
They are like basic stuff. Like most important to me, like when I talked about Jeff Bezos, the three things.
Things a day.
Yeah, you need to shut down. You need to
Mhm,
shut down from the circuit. You feel
Mhm.
like you are not producing, you are not leaving an impact and value. That's what I know you are. You fatigue. You max out. Just turn it off. You
Mhm.
don't have to have achievement every week. I have weeks without doing anything in my business because I need to reinvent. I need
mhm,
to reflect thinking, have I done this right? There is redundancy. I don't need to copy paste that. Let me do something more innovative,
mhm,
more innovation, more ideas, more challenging in it. So
mhm,
sometimes you need to turn it off. You don't have to always produce something that's look like an achievement and with vivid color. No, sometimes you need to slow down, and success always happen between those silence.
Mhm.
The same thing with coaching. When you coach someone the first session, they come back the second session. I tell them, have you thought about what we said? So the magic happened between that gap when I left them on the session and I come back again with the second session. Same thing with business. We don't have to always be on the top of everything. Podcasts, books. Oh, let me attend this networking. I should not miss anything. Why you think you are obligated to do it all? Do
mhm.
everything very well so you can shine. And that's when people call you master. You are never master when you do million things at once. You're not gonna get mastery.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for this conversation today. If people want to reach out to you and find out about uncovering their hidden gems, how would they do that?
Yes. So for finding a side business and gaining more clarity, if they need to connect more with me and knowing the pillars of those, success story for monetizing their business, they can reach out to Instagram, Sairan Aqrawi, one word. If they mention your name and Shannon name and your podcast, they can get 30 minutes complimentary session with me, which I normally charge. And also, if they are in a tech world or just in general, if they want to scale at their day job and they want to enhance their LinkedIn, they can reach out to LinkedIn to me, Sairan Akrawi. And if they mention your name again, I will give them 30 minutes complimentary to boost their LinkedIn.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for doing that for our listeners. I
you.
hope
Yeah.
they take you up on it, and we will put that in our show notes so they can find out that info. And thank you for being with us. Thank you for being
Thank,
connected. And we hope you have a great rest of your week.
thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you both. It was
Absolutely.
Ah, another
Super
good
proud of her.
conversation.
And I was gonna say her jump, but it's not a jump, right? She's still engineering, she's still
Right?
coaching, so I love it. Super
Right?
proud of you, Saidan.
Right? So good.
Yes, of
So good.
course. So, what else? We talked about occupational wellness, y'all. Last week we let you know that we had the doors closing a little bit early this year, right? But they are still open for the book for volume 3. Women
Mhm.
Connected in Wisdom, Stories and Resources Rooted in the 8 Dimensions of Wellness. So if you have something like Seidan, you have an opportunity, you have a resource that we can get plugged in, a story that you would like to share, reach out to us at Women Connected in Wisdom podcast at gmail.com, and we'll get you over that information, get you on the list of interested authors so that we can see if it's a good fit for us to support you and your story.
Right? So fun. I love talking to new authors, or we've had already previous published authors in the last two
Right.
volumes. So come be a part, have fun.
Yeah,
Be a good
yeah, and
time.
it's good for a number of different reasons, just like, and I would say, Seidan, too, that there are things that are transferable from engineering to business, right? Numbers
Right.
isn't everything. So, whether it's psychology or different things like that, a lot of times our ladies are asking, again, what is my gem? What is my story? What do I have to offer? Well, we can definitely uncover that and show you the plethora of things that you already have at your disposal that we would love to help you with. So, like you said, I love talking to our expert guests. We've been looking forward to this conversation since last August. So super grateful to be able to be here for it. And that's all I have. Do you have anything else for our listeners for episode 191?
Just thank you. Grateful to be
Yes.
connected. Really grateful for the reach outs, for the follows on social media, for the
Yes.
sharing the podcast with your friends, and
Mhm.
for getting us connected with great guests.
Mm.
And yeah, so fun. Like we are
Yes.
now on the countdown headed towards 200. Like,
Officially, yeah, we are.
right?
I
Here
was
we
thinking about it.
go. Here we
Like
go. Here
9 weeks.
we go. Here we go.
It's still a few months, but as far as episodes, there's a couple more episodes and we will be there. So, y'all
Right.
stay tuned, stay tapped in. We'll see you live here at 5 Eastern Standard Time next week. In the meantime, be well, be wise, be whole. Peace.